Now, when we have our worship and our relationship right, and what Tony just said was the Shema, love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, and love your neighbor as yourself, worshiping God and relationships and love with one another, it creates an atmosphere for miracles. Tell me one miracle that has occurred when you've been ministering. Just one that comes to mind.
Oh, my. There are so many. I will give you this example. There was a young man from California. He was not a believer in the Messiah Jesus. He was just a typical person, a sinner, did not know God. He attended a church service, and God was healing people. And so he was born deaf. And so
By the way, that's a messianic miracle. That's why they were so amazed that Yeshua, the King of the Jews, prayed for people that were born deaf, and they got their hearing back.
And so I called him forward, and I said, if God gives you your hearing, will you surrender your life to the Messiah Jesus? And he said, yes. I said, do you really mean that? He said, yes. And so he told me, I don't believe anything's going to happen. So I prayed for him in the name of the Messiah Jesus, and then when I tested, of course I tested his hearing to make sure he was deaf beforehand, and when I tested his hearing after the prayer, he literally leaped back, and his eyes opened up because he could hear out of a deformed, deaf ear, and instantly he gives his life to the Messiah Jesus. I had met Dr. Rennie McLean. He was doing a meeting in Borgia, Texas, and Dr. McLean's a weightlifter, and I was more overweight then than I am now, and I'm still continuing to lose weight. He says to me, you need to lose some weight. And I said, yes, I do. Will you pray for me? And so he prays for me. And I felt nothing, but it was on a Thursday. Because I believed that God was going to do it, I went to the clothing store. I bought a pair of pants I could not get in. And that was on a Thursday.
Now, by the way, what did the salesman think about that?
I didn't tell the salesman.
Oh, okay.
I just got
Listen, I have a whole wardrobe of pants I can't get in, but that's not the reason that I bought them too small. But go ahead.
So then what happens is on a Thursday I can't get in them. On Friday I can get in them a little bit. On Saturday a little bit more. On Sunday morning they fit perfectly. I preached in them. When I finish the service and I go home, this afternoon I'm still wearing these pants. They're buckled. They fall off of me. As time goes on, Sid, I discovered that I supernaturally lost 50 pounds.
You weren't trying.
I was not trying. I was not dieting. God just did it supernaturally.
But once God did this for you, you find that when you pray for others, it happens. Tell me another story.
Well, I began sharing my personal testimony, what God had done for me. And that with God, nothing is impossible. And with God, all things are possible. And Jesus said, if you can believe, all things are possible to the person that believes. Well, a woman came. She weighed 400 pounds. The Lord spoke to me and said she's going to have supernatural weight loss. And she leaves the meeting. It appears as if nothing happens. 1 year later, she comes to see me. I didn't even recognize the woman. She said, you don't remember me? I said, no, I don't. She said, you ministered to me 1 year ago, and I have lost 260 pounds.
And she wasn't trying.
And she wasn't trying.
Now, that's my kind of weight loss.